I'm Belinda, and I'm an atheist because I don't want to believe in a lie.
Nordic Track. The Icelandic Ethical Humanist Association, SIDMET, recently commissioned a polling firm called Maskina to survey Icelanders in regards to their religious beliefs. The most interesting finding is that absolutely no one under the age of 25 years believed that the world was directly created by God. 93.9% believed that the universe had come to exist as a result of the Big Bang, and the remainder had no opinion. The fact that 40% of Iceland's young people self-identify as atheist and that only 46.4% of Icelanders even identify as religious is quite noteworthy, especially considering that the country has an official religion, the Icelandic Evangelical Lutheran Church. Overall, 61.1% of Icelanders have a non-specific belief in God. However, 72% of those surveyed said they would favor a break with the government-church entanglement in favor of a separation of church and state. An Irish evangelical, a judge, and a Muslim cleric approached a bar. If there are Muslims out there, I want to assure them that I love them, and if they need help, I'm here to help them. But their theology and their beliefs, I am totally against them. These were the words of Pastor James Connell of Whitewell Metropolitan Tabernacle in Belfast, Ireland, after he was cleared of charges the improper use of public electronic communications network and causing a grossly offensive message to be sent by means of a public electronic communications network. The charges stemmed from a sermon delivered by the 78-year-old evangelical in May of 2014, which was placed on the church's web servers. In his decision, Judge Liam McNally said that the free expression rights include the right to say things or express opinions that offend, shock, or disturb the state or any section of the population. The judge's opinion was echoed by a senior research fellow in the Islamic Studies of the Westminster Institute, Mohammed Al-Husseini, who said, "In a free and democratic society, we enter into severe peril when we start to confuse what we perhaps ought or ought not to say with what in law we are allowed to or not allowed to say. Lest ye be judged." In March of last year, the Infidel told you the story of Greta Vosper, who has been minister at West Hill, a United Church congregation in Scarborough, Ontario, since 1997. As we had told you, what makes Vosper unique among the United Church officiates is that she is an atheist. Her sermons are devoid of any mention of the divine, and they include no reading from any sacred text. We told you that in 2008 she wrote a book entitled With or Without God, and discontinued the practice of her parish having children recite the Lord's Prayer, which predictably led to something of a schism. We also noted that when the dust settled following the expected exodus, the congregation maintained an active membership who continues to attend weekly services to this day with an average weekly attendance of around 70 persons. As a result, Executive Secretary of the Toronto Conference, the Reverend David Allen, complained to the church's executive committee, and a review process has been created from whole cloth, which may result in Vesper being defrocked. Vosper is appealing the invention of the review process on the grounds that it puts any minister at risk of random judgment. Her appeal will be heard by an ecclesiastical court next fall.